Well, we're now joined by professional boxer Amir Khan and the founder of British Muslim Youth, Mubin Hussain. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Amir, we spoke to you just a couple of weeks ago after one of the 3 major terror attacks by Islamist terrorists. You said then that you feared, when you were walking around, that there may be reprisal attacks on Muslims. It would appear that in the early hours of this morning, that is exactly what has happened. What's your reaction?
You know, I did say a couple of weeks ago when we were speaking that people want, it's gonna come back in a way where people want revenge and they're gonna kill innocent people, and that could be me one day walking my daughter down the street and someone comes with a car and runs me over because I'm a Muslim. You know, so I just think that we're all living through a very tough time at the moment, and we all just have to stick together because this is only gonna get worse if people are thinking like that.
Absolutely right. Mubin Hussain, we were just mentioning the Finsbury Park Mosque. I mean, when people hear the name of the mosque, they'll remember it, and probably, you know, for many of us not in the Muslim community, not in the right way. But it has, I understand, been the forefront of community relations, counter-extremism.
I think what we have to clarify is, was this actually the Finsbury Park Mosque where the attack happened? And all the reports that I've seen, it wasn't actually Finsbury Park Mosque.
It was a few hundred yards away,
It was the Muslim welfare house. And we have to clarify that, and I think it's important that we look at that and we don't just link it to another mosque that was there. In fact, if you look at even Finsbury Park Mosque, Abu Hamza was actually kicked out of the mosque.
Right.
And you have to rectify
No, I think you're right. And I think the key point here, this was a deliberate attack, a terrorist attack on Muslims, right? I think it doesn't really matter whether they were from Finsbury Park Mosque or as well. This is a deliberate attack on Muslims as they have come out of their prayers during Ramadan, and it's the kind of thing that Amir was talking about, that he was concerned about. And to my mind, you know, we've put a lot of pressure on the Muslim communities to root out extremists in their midst. I want to find out who this white extremist is who did this, find out why nobody shopped him to the police. And I also want to know what we're going to do about all this hateful stuff you see on the internet, urging other white extremists to take action against Muslims. Most of the people who've been injured today are British Muslims. The fact they're Muslims is irrelevant, but they've been targeted because they're Muslims.
100%, and I have to agree with that, because they are Muslims and they were coming out of a mosque and it was near a mosque. I think that's one of the reasons why this person did that.
This just happened at the end of a weekend commemorating the terrorist murder of MP Joe Cox, when there was this huge, great get-together. We were talking about we've got more in common. People will feel despair this morning. But that's so important, isn't it, that we don't let these attacks divide us, even though that might be how people feel, divided.
I think we saw hundreds and thousands of people across the country come together, you know, whether it was in remembering Joe Cox, whether it was remembering in Grenfell Tower. We didn't see authorities. I was there. I've seen ordinary people come together. And we're not going to allow one lone nutter to come and divide us on that and take away all that actions. I think that is quite important. I think we have to understand that they are trying to divide people, but the overwhelming people are just coming together. We saw that. We saw that after Manchester, when Muslim taxi drivers and ordinary people got people to safety. And I seen that. I was there at the, at Finsbury Park. I went there, I saw ordinary people, and there was frustration, there was anger, there was people that were really emotional because they'd seen the incident in place.